Morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Morning Heart Devotion. To start off, let's offer a greeting, a bow to our heavenly parents and true parents. 천진 장모님께 겸해 바로. And now to lead us through the family pledge, I'd like to invite up Reverend Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 자녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향당을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상임 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 자녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 자녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇族권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 자녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 자녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대사적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 자녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님의 대신 가정으로서 자눈을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 자녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 신정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 자녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 자녀급 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Reverend Milhan Stevens. And now to open us up in prayer, I'd like to ask Clark Eberly, if you could please open us up in prayer.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Beloved God, please accept this small prayer, but for many people, and therefore in your grace, a meaningful, powerful prayer from all of us. We're asking that through this prayer you can prevent as many as possible lives from being lost in Ukraine. We pray, beloved God, that your angels of love and sanity and wisdom can invade the mind of the, I want to say monster, but he's still your son, named Putin in Russia, and make him change his mind. Please bring peace as quickly, as solidly as possible. Beloved God, we ask that your dream can be realized. There will be a healed, reconciled, powerful, heaven-guided Korea, and that from this united Korea will come missionaries and teachers and healers and diplomats and people carrying forth and teaching your love, your wisdom, your goodness. all throughout Korea, all throughout Mother Japan, all throughout Elder Son United States, and even in all nations, big and small. Beloved God, please guide our hearts. Help us become through this teaching and through your grace better, wiser, more effective sons and daughters of you. And please guide our thinking, feeling, and participation in this meeting, morning devotion. We thank you and ask in the names of all the families, blessed central families gathered here. Amen. Adieu.
Thank you so much, Clark Everly, for your really very providential prayer and sincerity. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Clark, for this very sincere prayer to open us up today. Brothers and sisters, we're going to go into our gratitude sharing. So let's take the next few minutes to reflect on what we're grateful for, share with one another, and then we'll be back here to share with everyone else. We'll see you all in 7 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful sharing in your breakout. I was alone for some time, but then I got with Kit Ogden. Kit Ogden, if you could please unmute and share with us your reflection, your gratitude points this morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Dr. Young. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Well, we were alone for quite a long time, in different rooms, Rashford and myself. So I was reflecting, what does it mean to be alone, right? And why did God put me alone at that moment? And I was thinking about winter. It's been a bit tough, to get moving recently because of the winter. And I shared with Rashford at the end there, it's the time when the oxygen levels are the lowest as we've had there's no green, so the oxygen levels drop down and then we get less energy. But when the infusion of spring comes, and then there's a burst of energy and everything comes to life again. And I was thinking how God's word really, brings us to life every day. I'm grateful, especially for the Godable message that comes through from headquarters. I really thank you all for putting that message out each day and for morning devotion. We need God's word so much, to bring us to life. So I'm so grateful for this.
Thank you, Keith, Ogden. Actually, really, our life is very spiritual. Last night, I think about Keith, Ogden, and then this morning you appeared to me. Wow, that is incredible. Where's our beautiful lady Maria?
Dr. Young, she's not feeling so well today.
Okay. It's okay, no problem. Just say hello to her.
Yes.
Okay,
thank you so much.
Thank you, 감사합니다.
Thank you, Uncle Kit. It was great talking to you in the breakout. Next, I'd like to call on Christoph. Christoph Murphy, if you could please share with us your gratitude points this morning.
Morning, everybody. I was in breakout with Dr. Young and Reverend Pumphrey. I think, for me, often I'm thinking how grateful I am for this technology that we can all meet together. It's quite amazing that about 240 people can all meet together in the morning just after waking up and share together. That's quite amazing. Never have happened before without this Zoom. So it's quite amazing. And I moved to the US about a bit over a year ago. And when I moved to Pennsylvania and didn't know anybody there. But through Facebook and Zoom, found all these events going on virtually, which so I met so many people through Zoom. So very grateful for that.
Thank you, Christoph. Just now I talked to Christoph and we give and take very well, and he's working very hard. I think so. My dear brothers and sisters, let's help our Christoph. He's looking for his own God. We need to find somebody for him. So let's really help our Christoph then become real blessed couple someday. Thank you very much for your sharing.
Thank you, Dr. Young.
Thanks, Christoph. And that's true. You have so many people just waking up at 6 o'clock. That's right after you wake up. That's amazing. All right, brothers and sisters, let's go on to the main message today. Let's prepare our hearts and mind to receive our heavenly inspiration through our beloved Continental Director, Dr. Chun-Sik Young.
안녕하세요. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, clergy and members of For Peace. 안녕하십니까? I just now got a good news from our Heavenly Honey. She said now 80 GPA missionaries are overseas serving 9 nations for the sake of the world. This is really great news. And I got many great feedback from all over the world because, many our young, second generation GPA missionaries serving the world. This is really giving big impact to entire world. Can you imagine if we really sending more our GPA members and then, let's just say someday 30,000 or 40,000. and serving for the sake of the world. No one can deny America is doing incredible role as an eldest nation. Someday, so we need to break through. What I believe, our heavenly dream always come true. As long as we have a heavenly vision and heavenly dream, definitely will come true. That's why our dear brothers and sisters unite together, and then we pray, and then our prayer become our vision. Our vision definitely will come true. Today, I'd like to talk about Oceania from True Mother's Anthology, Book 1. So let's study Mother's Word. Heavenly Honey, please.
Oceania. In the farming villages of Korea, the new community movement was begun together with the Enlightenment movement. You should take an interest in how the Korean church was able to grow in the beginning time, centering on True Father. The Solomon Islands is a country that is in a situation similar to that of Korea in the early days of the church. You should take that time when church services were held with spirit and truth, centering on True Father, as an example, an endeavor to make the flames of revival rise up in this country. One of the harmful consequences of today's material civilization age is that it destroys nature and causes pollution. Your country should nurture and cherish its God-given natural beauty. It should be more active in advocating the nature preservation movement. That is why you need to carry out a nationwide awareness movement centering on True Parents' teachings. For Palau to be able to compete with bigger nations and join ranks with them, it needs to propagate the divine principle teachings. You may not know in detail about the heart of God when He created the world, or about the many stories behind how True Parents came to this earth and laid their victorious foundation to restore fallen humanity. Once you learn of them, you cannot help but love the Word and love True Parents, who are the center of the Word. With such a loving heart, you need to love your country of Palau. The Christians who oppose you do not truly love this country. Henceforth, you need to practice true love centering on the Word, thus taking the lead and making Palau a nation that can be beloved by God.
Yes. Continuing from yesterday, we will have the time to study the future of humankind is rooted in the future of the Pacific Rim region. And yesterday I already talked to you that True Father, how much pay attention the ocean providence. So let's study Father's Word.
The future of humankind is rooted in the future of the Pacific Rim region. What exactly should be the role of America and the United Nations? Hawaii is in the Pacific and Norfolk is on the Atlantic, bridging east and west, linking north and south, and represent the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and all the great oceans of the world. With the support and protection of the American continent, the Korean Peninsula should protect and defend the Pacific Rim region by bringing together all the island nations of the Pacific. I say this because the future of humankind lies in the preservation of the Pacific Rim region, centering on Korea, Japan, and the United States.
Yes. When I was the continental director of Oceania, I visited the island nation of Oceania, and almost all the small island nations were ruled by China. all economic powers were owned by the Chinese. I was so surprised to see. Regarding the fact that not only the economic sphere, but the maritime areas would also be controlled by Chinese as well. To further emphasize that the United States should take the lead in checking this, and that Oceania should all unite and be vigilant against these powerful things. And America had paid little attention to these small island nations in Oceania. To further worry so much a lot about this and said that we must protect the Pacific region no matter what happens. And then, when Father establishing UPF in each nation in Oceania, and Father using his private jet, and then he talked to me many things about the importance of the providence of the Pacific Rim region. For Father, warning was really correct. There's already a very tense situation between China and the United States, mainly in the Pacific region. To Father, anticipated this for a long time ago already. Okay, next content.
Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you closely analyze the current state of affairs in the world. Although the days of communism are gone, even now, powerful nations such as China and Russia are constantly on the lookout for opportunities to aggressively pursue their own interests with the powerless and small island nations. Regardless of what nation it may be, no small island nation by itself can deal with these powerful surrounding nations and their economic, political, or even military ambitions. Those nations are so powerful that if they wanted to, they could dominate any of the smaller nations in a single day without shedding blood. Only when peace and security are settled in the Pacific Rim can peace for all humankind be guaranteed. As I have mentioned, the small island nations by themselves will not be able to stop the incredible tsunami of powerful nations moving into the region. The time has come, therefore, for all these small island nations in the Pacific Rim sphere to unite as one and build the homeland of the new civilization. The small island nations dispersed in both the northern and southern regions of the Pacific on either side of the equator, as well as Japan, Taiwan, the Philippines, Indonesia, the Solomon Islands, Australia, New Zealand, and other countries should become as one country and form one union to sustain peace throughout the Pacific Rim civilization. This will secure peace and stability for all people. What I am saying to you is that you have the responsibility to protect and save the oceanic realm, which is a lifeline on which humanity's future depends, from the environmental destruction and conflicts that are worsening by the day, and to shield the natural resources for the sake of peace in the future.
Yes, so True Father just speaking very clearly. He said that if this Pacific Rim was not protected from the neighboring power of China and the Soviet Union, it would have a huge impact on the unification of North and South Korea, centered on Korean Peninsula. A living divine principle. Today, I'd like to talk about the pair system and our daily life again. So let's study EDP content first.
The reason all beings are composed of dual characteristics. For any being to exist, energy is required, and energy can be produced only through give and take action. However, nothing can reciprocate without a partner. Hence, a being must contain dual characteristics, a subject partner, and an object partner, which can engage in give and take action. For anything to have an eternal nature, it must move in a circle. Give and take action between a subject partner and an object partner is necessary for any circular motion. This is true even for God. Having dual characteristics allows him to live eternally. In order for God's creation to resemble his eternal nature, it likewise must be composed of dual characteristics.
Okay, based upon the reason all beings are composed of dual characteristics, let's study a Father's word directly.
The reason all beings exist in a peer system. All things exist in a peer system under a subject-object-partner relationship in order to be in constant harmony and harmonious union in all directions. North, south, east, west, top, bottom, front, back, right, and left, within a realm of love centered on God. All things in the mineral, plant, animal, and human world exist under a peer system. Then why do all beings exist in a peer system? It is because love reaches all places. A peer becomes as one and connects to the ideal realm of a common denominator. While doing so, they live and exist for each other and create the universe as they multiply. Do you understand? You have to understand the principle of why all beings exist in a peer system. The mystery of the universe. What is the most mysterious thing in the universe? What was the first concept that God conceived when he created? It was love. God created the universe from the concept of love. That is why all existing beings must form a common base centering on love. Consequently, an environment cannot be made without a reciprocal realm between the subject and object partner. There is always a response within a reciprocal realm. That realm of response is not only found in the family, but also leads to the tribe, nation, and world.
Okay, thank you, Heavenly Honey. The reason all beings are composed of dual characteristics, just now our divine principle mentioned very clearly, but I'd like to remind you again. The reason all beings are composed of dual characteristics first, in order to exist. For any being to exist, energy is required. Energy can be produced only through give and take action. So a being must contain dual characteristics of subject partner and object partner, which can engage in give and take action. I do exist because my object exists, and because my subject exists. I exist because of my partner. In order to exist, the relationship between subject and object is really absolute. Where there is a subject and there is an object. And when there is an object and there is a subject. The existence of God and me is absolute from the point of view that the subject and object must exist together. The relationship between husband and wife, and man and woman, and man and all things is absolute. Therefore, my object partner is like a God. Inseparable relationship. This is a really incredible discovery by our true parents. The reason all beings are composed of dual characteristics. In order to exist. In order to exist, you cannot exist by alone. Definitely, there are subject partner and object partner. How can you multiply and grow without your object partner, without your wife, without your husband? It is impossible. Therefore, where there is God, there should be his object partner, human being. God does not make any sense. God just only living alone. he need to have the object partner, inseparable relationship. Who is God's object partner? Human being. Human being cannot exist by alone. He need to have the subject partner. Who is the subject partner of the human being? He is God. Therefore, like a mind and body, like man and woman, need to exist together as a subject partner and object partner. This incredible divine principle. And there are subject partner and there is an object partner. Need to exist together. Otherwise, anything cannot exist. This is the incredible principle between the relationship between subject partner and object partner, to exist. That's the reason all beings are composed of dual characteristics. And the second reason, to have eternal nature. For anything to have an eternal nature, it must move in circle. Give and take action between a subject partner and object partner is necessary for any circular motion, right? And consequently, we must be composed of dual characteristics. Where there is a subject partner and object partner need to give and take and must move in a circle. As long as they are subject partner and object partner move in a circle, then continuously, going around, and then, become circular movement. The reason all beings are composed of dual characteristics in order to love. This is the final goal, my brothers and sisters. The reason subject and object partner exist is to manifest and realize love. This is really beautiful. The reason, why all beings are composed of dual characteristics, to realize love. To realize love, you cannot do by your own. You need to definitely your object partner, right? So I think today divine principle really guide us, teach us very clearly. Today's youth ministry, the path to become a true mother. Of course, main case how to become a true father. So let's study more. Okay, Heavenly Honey, please read.
The path to become a true mother. Our unificationist women can grow their own spirit through caring for young kids at Sunday school at the church. We must strive to become subject partners who are pure and clean like children. You have to train yourself while supervising the children and being supervised by them. Don't take care of children out of a sense of duty, but try these things coming from your original mind. If you don't do such training properly, even if you build a family next, you will not be able to supervise your Adam, husband, and Adam will not be able to properly supervise you.
Yes. When it comes to growing your spirit, Sunday school is a really, good training course. I personally have such experience. When I was a pioneer, I started from the Sunday school. The more your level of faith grows, the more your level of heart grows, and the more your love grows, and the more you grow interest in young children and the youth. A person who can do well in Sunday school ministry can also do well in adult ministry. A person who can listen to children very well can also listen to adults well. The revival of early Christianity in Korea always began in Sunday school. This is because if you can capture the heart of the children, you can capture the heart of the adults too. Next content.
Many people start with Sunday school first when they go out to Pioneer Witness. If you can't minister to children properly, you can't even minister to adults. Not only that, we must serve the elderly well and become a person who they are attracted to. Both of these experiences are needed. If you lead Sunday school students well, their parents will follow with joy. According to True Father's words, if you grab each end, the middle will follow. When you become someone who can attract children and the elderly, the youth and adults in the middle can easily follow.
Yes, a church with a well-run Sunday school must grow. Our blessed families must first raise the growing second and third generation through Sunday school very well. That's why something I really need to check what's the system of Sunday school in America. On Sundays, we need to build a church where children want to go to the church. On Sundays, we need to build a church where children really miss their Sunday school teachers. You know, children, they really want to go to the Sunday or want to go to the church because they really miss and they'll have a longing heart for Sunday school teacher. We need to create that kind of environment. A minister who is not interested in Sunday school, I am telling you, has no interest in any human soul. The pastor has no more hope. Any pastor, any minister doesn't have any concern about Sunday school. This church no more hope. This pastor is really already gone something. Cannot say any more hope. That's why, to develop any church, any center very well, you need to really pay attention to the, kindergarten, Sunday school very well. They are our future and they are our hope, my brothers and sisters. So really we need to seriously thinking about, not, they already become the adult from our second generation, already become 20s or 30s and 40s. We are trying to arrange some educational program and schedule already too late. We need to begin from Sunday school. How to protect them, how to guide them, how to educate them. This is very important in order to develop our movement and our churches. So, my dear state leaders and ministers and the center leaders, CAB leaders, you really have to pay attention very much about the Sunday school. If you don't much pay attention to Sunday school, I am telling you, your church never grow up. Anyone do not concern about the Sunday school, young children, what are you talking about? As a parental figure in your church, you do not take care of your own children well. What are you talking about? Your ministry. Very important, my brothers and sisters, running very well our Sunday school system. Continue.
When you guide students or children, do not have the attitude that you are the teacher who teaches them, but first try to earn their trust. This will be a great way for inexperienced pioneers to naturally attract people. Until you start a family, think of the whole process as a training period to train yourself. Rather than guiding the children you are in charge of, your original mind must have a desire to be guided by and attracted to children. If you yourself are attracted to a child, that child will be attracted to you.
Yes. Continue.
Children don't listen to adults because they try to guide children without actually being attracted to them. If you try to dominate someone without being attracted to them first, that person will dislike you. This is because their heart is not ready. The path of resurrection that we must walk is not a path we are being dragged along reluctantly. It is a path that we take ownership of voluntarily and with autonomy. Doing it out of necessity is like derailing. It is also not good to do religious ceremonies out of a sense of duty because they are unavoidable. Even when we learn the word and perform ceremonies, we must do it voluntarily, and we have to be proactive.
Yes. If I want to do everything voluntarily and with joy, I have to move my heart by putting my heart and sincerity first. My voluntary mind springs up. That's why human beings, including you and me, why can't grow up very well? Because everything we do by duty, just by duty, without putting our heart and sincerity, then our mind never springs up. That's why whatever we do, how much we put our utmost sincerity and heart, then whatever we do can participate in anything voluntarily with joy, without putting heart and sincerity. Just waste our time, my brothers and sisters. Whatever we do, our weapon is what? Putting our heart and utmost sincerity. Whenever we put our heart, our sincerity, and then my heart is so much joyful, and then really have great motivation to go forward with a volunteer heart and with a joyful heart, my brothers and sisters. Next.
You have to live life willing to do anything with your heart and always discover new values. You should always experience a new life of living with joy. The true path of heart is always new because it is not a habitual path. Isn't it always new to live and play with children? You can see young children playing with new thoughts and emotions every day. Every day you will see children who are always in the same environment playing with a more active mind.
Yes.
God has the most interest in the heart of human beings. We have no idea how much God is ceaselessly working behind the scene to make human beings artistically feel on their own that He is our parent. For example, how desperately does a mother of an autistic child wish for her child to feel and respond to the mother's love while raising the child? How can the heart, labor, and devotion of God, who is the parent to grow the fallen human spirit, be compared to the parents of autistic children? Therefore, to become a true mother, you must make a lot of effort to learn the world of God's heart while guiding the Sunday school students.
Okay.
While living a life of faith, there will be cases when I think that I am a sinner and strongly feel that God does not love or have interest in a sinner like me. However, this is a very wrong thinking and hurts God very much. No matter how great a sin I have committed, I need to know that God is there wherever and whenever, and that He cares for me deeply. God never gives up on me under any circumstances. Today, God is looking for opportunities to enter into my heart. Therefore, if I try to understand God's heart and wishes and adjust to the cycle of His heart, anyone can feel the love and heart of heavenly parents. The reason why we need to lead Sunday school is to know the heart of God. Only through that training can you become a mother who can raise a husband and children well.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. My dear brothers and sisters, so when I prepare this content, I really feel very much overwhelmed. My tears came down. Imagine, my brothers and sisters, imagine a mother with an autistic child who is completely closed. Let's imagine that there is a mother who wants to communicate with her child with autism by all means and method, to convey her heart. Just think about how that mother feels. Imagine that there is a God who struggles every moment to deliver his heart to each and every fallen human being who is more serious than, altruism due to human fall. But how would God be pleased if the cycle of our heart in which we struggle to find God and the cycle of God's heart in which God struggles to find his lost child coincide with each other and communication take place? All of us are fallen humans. All of us are fallen humans are, altruistic patients who can't feel God's struggles to communicate with us and have completely shut the door of our heart. Therefore, the course of faith is a training that opens the door of our heart through various training. In the end, it is a course to find a way to give and receive with God artistically. That's why God is really knocking and knocking and knocking and knocking. And he tried to find the opportunity how can communicate to each one of the human beings. That is God's effort so much, actually. He is my parents. He is your parent. That's why every second, every minute, knock to our heart. Then try to find how to communicate with me artistically. That's why God really tried to find and try to really convince me, hey, Dr. Young, I'm your father. You are my son. You are my begotten son. You are only my son, my son, my boy, my girl. Because of the the human's fall, we completely close our heart and mind. That's why even though God come to me so many times, every second, every minute, but we do not know how to focus on the cycle of God's heart. That's why Father saying that if you live centering on your original nature, which is original mind, and really focus on your original mind, what is the best way to reach to heaven? And struggling how to remove your fallen nature, I really find what is the original nature, how to live properly. If you focus on that kind of cycle of your heart, and also God is really searching for the human being centering on that kind of the cycle of his heart, then meet together. Then finally can communicate between God and human being. How much, God is happy about it. My brothers and sisters, what is our purpose of life? How to cultivate our heart. And then through cultivating our heart and then finally find God. He, our God, how much loves me. We need to recognize that. He's really searching for that kind of human being. What's the best way to meet that kind of God? Father suggesting that you need to live always centering on your original nature and the spirit mind, not focus on your physical mind. So we need to really cultivating. So here talking about one of the best way to cultivate our heart is really you need to love children. You need to participate the Sunday school. You need to learn how to communicate with them. Sometimes you can control them. Sometimes they can control you, and give and take emotionally, artistically. This is one of the best practice to cultivate our heart. And after you starting family, you know how to serve your husband. You know how to serve your children as well too. Our life of faith, what the main purpose is, really cultivating our heart. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Dr. Young, I never thought Sunday school could be so profound, but it's very clear. It's very clear. And I'm proud to say I was also a Sunday school teacher. So I'm definitely on the right track under Roger Weatherall in Connecticut. Brothers and sisters, let's spend the next few minutes, 7 minutes, just reflecting on what was shared today, sharing with one another so we can grow in our understanding of what was shared today. And we're back here to share with everyone else. We'll see you all in 7 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful sharing in your breakout. I had the opportunity of being with Serge Broso, and also Bornface Moboso. I'd like to ask Bornface Moboso if you could please unmute and share with us your gratitude, not your gratitude, your reflection in today's morning devotion.
Yeah, good morning. I was thinking when Dr. Young was talking about Sunday service, we didn't do a good job on Sunday service as a church. We have a lot of second generation in Atlanta, a lot of them. So if we had a very good foundation for Sunday service, we could add a lot of church members in our church. But unfortunately, we didn't give them a very good education on Sunday service. I don't remember so much that we were so much active on Sunday service. So because of that, we lost a lot of second generation because we did not give them a lot of divine principle relationship with our church. So because of that, we have to start now working so much towards uniting them with the church. We having a Suma ceremony on Sunday from our church. Our young second generation Rick Van passed away. So on Saturday we had almost 200 church members at night with candle vigil light. And for the first time, I saw a lot of second generation in our church. I didn't know we had a lot of members, second generation. So we will try very hard to really connect them with the church, centering on Rick Van's Sunga ceremony. So we pray so much that we can connect with the second generation on Sunga ceremony. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Boniface. Yeah, I think we really need to focus on our Sunday school to take care of our second gen and third gen. If we do not do that, I am telling you, we cannot find any hope our church. You don't much pay attention second generation, third generation, and you would just only want to take care of the adult group. What are you talking about? God is not there. God is not there. As long as you do not take care of your own second generation, third generation, how can God come there? As a minister, as all the blessed family, you do not concentrate about our kid, and they don't have a proper system of Sunday school. That church will disaster. Definitely will disaster. Never have any hope to develop. That's why we really need to love and pay attention to our future generations. This is a really important, our job and our portion of responsibility. Thank you.
I'd like to call on Roger Weatherall. He was the Sunday school director for many years when I was in Connecticut. So I'd like to call on you this year.
Hi, Resford.
Hey, Roger!
I had a suspicion you were going to do that. Yes, I was just reflecting on the value of teaching Sunday school. You know, when you have to teach Sunday school to 5-year-olds or fifth graders at Sunday school, it's really a challenge. You have to think, really, what is the essence of the divine principle, and how do you convey that in such a simple and basic way that a fifth grader can understand it? So after you convey it, you know, to your children and you teach it, you also have to go really deep inside yourself. You have to think, what is it that I really believe? What is the essence of my faith? And then convey that to these kids, right? So that they can get it as well. And I have to say that, Resford, you were one of the best Sunday school teachers we ever had. You have such a great way of just connecting with the youth, and I really appreciate that. One of the great things we had in Connecticut was a lot of young people, and I think it's really important for the older brothers and sisters in our church, the older children, to be able to teach the younger children and build those relationships, those vertical relationships within Sunday school. So
Beautiful.
I'm really grateful that you could do that.
Yeah, thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you.
Thank you so much for your beautiful sharing. I have a beautiful experience when I was a pioneer, and then I initiate to, have the Sunday school, and then I also teach something, a study for, kids, and then, the elementary school the students and come to the Maui church, and then in the afternoon I always teaching them and teaching divine principle, teaching their own study. And then later on, the school teacher came to our church. Why all our kids talking about you and talking about your church? What happened? That's why I want to see. I want to see you. What happened? Because after finishing school, all my children, all our students, they want to go to your church. What happened? That's why I came here, to see you. I had such a beautiful experience actually. And guiding our young kids, this is really very powerful and very, very beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing from the Roger. 감사합니다.
Similar to what Einstein once said, if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. And so I also felt like really when you try to teach youth, it helps you understand more concretely what you believe in. And that's something I gained a lot from the Mid-Sunday School. So thank you for emphasizing that. Brothers and sisters, on to our announcements. If you gained anything from today's morning devotion, feel free to share it with anyone. You can do it by directing them to edu.familyfed.org or just taking them to YouTube, to Facebook. It's pretty much everywhere. So please continue to share morning devotion so we can grow in our just sovereignty here in America. Also, if you'd like to give, there's going to be a link in the chat. Feel free to click that to support Morning Devotion Ministries. If you're online, just go to the link in the description. The link should be right here as well, if you're on Facebook or YouTube. And once again, everything is available at edu.familyfed.org. And now on to our musical offering today. It's my pleasure to introduce and welcome Manuel Liba to offer a song.
Good morning, Dr. Yong.
Oh, Manuel Liba, yeah.
Yes, I'm back. Now, today I'd like to sing a Korean holy song, 푸른 푸른 몸. He has called me.
Interesting.
푸른 바다 노선이 뭐 어디든지 가오리라 괴로우나 즐거우나 주만 따라가오리라 어느 누가 막으리까 국민들 막으리까 어느 누가 막으리까 국민들 막으리까 아 걸걸 잡힌 둘이고 북궁도 가오리라 소돔 같은 거리로 사랑 안고 찾아가서 종에 지닌 것도
아낌없이 드리리라
종의 몸에
지닌 것도 아낌없이 드리리다
존귀 영광 모든 권세 주님 홀로 받으시고 멸치전대 십자가는 쟁지도 이름 없이 빛도 없이 감사하며 따르리이다.
이름 없이 빛도 없이 감사하며 나오리다. Thank you, Manuel Lima. We sang together. Thank you.
Thank you, Manuel, and thank you, Dr. Young, for this wonderful duet. Thank you for offering such a beautiful song this morning. And now on to our closing prayer. She was singing along. I'd like to invite Mi-young Owens. Mi-young, if you could please close us out in prayer.
감사하신 하늘 부모님, 승연 천진 장부님, thank you so much this morning, our brothers and sisters throughout the world, centered on the garden children by Dr. Young's speech. Heavenly Father, this is a really good opportunity to us. We can grow up through the speech every day. Thank you so much. Dr. Young came to America. He wake us up and try to guide in front of God and true parents. Heavenly Father, we need to grow up every day. Heartily, we need to come closer to you, true parents. Heavenly Father, true parents only the human who can save the humankind. Now so world is so much struggle, so many people suffering, people cannot be safe, people don't know who they trust, Father. Many politicians, they go wrong way because they don't really know God, they don't trust children who is so really in the center of the physical world. They Father, true fathers in our spirit world. Only true fathers try to conduct the world, Father. But some true children away from true mother. Please bring them, true children, come to you, Father. Children all become supporting their true mother. Give the energy, Father, for save the world. Heavenly Father, now children already fourth generation. Those generation, you only need to grow up, Father. True parents, please, we can really supporting our true family, can be really natural victory and supporting true mother, working hard toward God's will, Father. Heavenly Father, without our 정성 condition, God cannot work of this world. Also, true mother cannot work. Through this, our activity, our 정성, our movement, only spirit can help, Father. Please let us really guiding, working hard for your will. And Father, mother, many also through us be serving. Many politicians, many important VIP, various leaders really come together, helping Korea, North and South Union. Heavenly Father, God need see the Union, North and South Korea. Through this Korean Peninsula, world can be peaceful, find a peaceful world. Heavenly Father, please spread that Korea can be united, North and South, and more soon, Korean government policy election coming, who can really understand our movement, our church activity, and supporting true mother. That person can be the president, and really need help our movement.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This morning, we can be really totally unite each other, more focus, God's will working to you well, and this Providence 7-year course, Father. Thank you so much, Father. I pray all the brothers' name on the all together and sensible from Myung Owens. Thank you.
Thank you so much, 미영 오웬스 권사님, John Jack's spiritual mother. Thank you.
Thank you, Young, for praying so artistically. Powerfully closes out. Brothers and sisters, about wraps up today's morning devotion. Thank you for joining. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye
Thank you so
bye.
much. We finished very much earlier. I think our Naokim is very, very happy about that. Thank you. God bless you.